Hello everybody and welcome to Hack the Dino's Nostalgia. Today we're going to be talking about good old Cowboys, Red Dead Redemption. I'm here with my good friends from Vulgar Professionals, Michael and Alex, who you've met before. And a new face at the end of the table here. This is Todd.
Hello.
Todd is a co-worker of mine. And I love Todd. He's excellent. He's my best friend. He gets me through work, and I don't know if we'd be able to survive work.
That feeling's unheard at all.
We're 10 seconds in and I'm already tearing up. We're off to a great start.
Yeah.
Oh, we're about to leave now.
Very much. I said best friend at work.
No.
I feel like I'm hurting people no matter what. Anyway, so we're talking about Red Dead Redemption, which is what we're talking about. We're going to start with good old Red Dead Revolver on the PS2. Now that we've done that, we can talk about Red Dead Redemption on the PS3 and the Xbox 360.
Yes.
Guys, how good was this game?
It was pretty good from what I remember.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was
time.
fine.
Fun.
Oh, I thought you said it was fine.
It's just okay.
It was cool.
I think if I remember rightly, I took the day off TAFE and work just to play this game.
Excellent.
I apologise profusely to all my lecturers as well as my boss, who is currently still my boss.
Yes.
But priorities.
Yeah,
I was in school,
figure that out.
and I went to school, and then I got it after school, and then I played it after school, and I didn't go to school next day.
Was it like a big fun after school trip the whole time at school? You
It's
were
just
like,
it's
yes,
just
I can't wait to go.
It's the worst because I'm just like, Mum,
Mum, we have to go pick up the game.
we're gonna go
Can I
JP
get the
Hi-Fi.
game? Yeah.
You don't understand.
Yeah.
Don't get me.
Yeah. Come on, let
I
me.
need to be a cowboy, Mum.
Don't deny me of this.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, not again.
She goes, Alex, you were
This is the third time in your life.
Alex, you were just an ex-Russian in Liberty City. Now you want to be a cowboy.
Yes. So this. Thank you for the point, Alex. This is coming straight off of Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories and 4.
Yep.
That's right.
Maybe.
Yeah, and
Hey, Nico, want to go bowling?
that's all I remember from that game. Honestly,
Get drunk and drive home.
Yeah, get drunk and just drunkenly drive everywhere.
Do you remember the dates? Sorry, we used to take girls out on dates.
Oh man.
You're
Okay.
going to play darts
Red-
and
so-
pool.
Exactly.
Just like in real life.
I remember.
And in Red Dead, you could go play poker.
Oh, yeah.
This
Did
is
you become a pro?
this is a thing that I
No.
want to talk about. Is it like Red Dead Redemption? You're a cowboy in the Old West, or the end of the Old West, and you could spend hours of time on these pointless mini games.
With that,
and they were amazing.
Yeah,
Horseshoe.
Liar's dice.
Yes. Oh,
I
man.
just remember shoes and poker.
Yeah. So, Todd, you played poker a lot, didn't you?
Oh yeah, probably played more poker than the actual game. And when you consider that the game takes over 10 hours to actually complete,
very easily.
Yes, I didn't work for about a week or so. It was going to TAFE at all.
Any productivity?
Yeah,
done
there
at
was
all.
nothing.
That's perfect. I love it.
Because what was it? It was 2000. It was 2010.
It was 2010.
Yeah.
So
How old were we? Jeez.
we,
13?
You don't want to say
12,
This is showing my age,
13
but it's alright.
for us three, and
I was about 19.
yeah.
Yeah,
Geez, you're old.
Yep.
Okay.
I thought I'd throw it out
It's
there.
fine. We'll get it out of the way early, so that.
So now we're fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh
You
man.
just totally did the math in your head to see how old he is now, didn't you?
No, I haven't actually. I'm not that quick.
So Red Dead Redemption, starting off with quite literally the opening of the game, when we open up this game and we're on the train coming in, and we're getting the context of all the context clues of what's going on, and these people are from a more developed era, the area of America.
Isn't it the end of the American?
So yeah,
end.
coming towards the end of
Yeah.
the so-called Western civilization. So,
Outlaws and cowboys and the old wild wild west is ending, and you're there as John Marston, who is an incredible character.
Oh yeah.
You even get subtle hints on the train in terms of what people think of the government and how it's actually repressing the cultures.
It's
And
amazing.
even there's isn't there a religion discussion?
Yeah,
Religious discussion?
yeah. There's one
This is
of
a lot
a.
deeper than I thought it was.
No, there is one of a preacher and a preacher's daughter, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah, and they're talking about how these old Western times are changing, and in this new time we have to trust in God or something.
That's right. Because even the girl mentions about I hear over in this county there's a car that can actually fly.
Yeah, and it's what?
Okay.
Yeah. So starting off, we'll jump into when you jump to the farm with the
Fun on the farm?
McFarlane.
Yeah.
Bonnie McFarlane.
I was gonna say Seth.
That's because
but,
you get shot.
not quite.
I mean, he was in the West too, but
He was in the Old Wild West
Yeah.
as well.
Just a million ways to die.
yeah, with Liam Neeson.
Oh, I forgot about that movie.
Yep.
No. Anyway.
We don't talk about that movie.
I
Anyway.
laughed in that movie. I don't give a shit.
I mean, I didn't laugh. It's just, it's not good.
My God.
Doc shows up.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you working on? It's like nothing.
No, nothing.
Nothing.
So, like, we're going to the farm and everything and
you
having
get
that
shot.
that very... It's kind of like a tutorial. Like, to introduce
Yeah.
you to the mechanics of the game.
Bonnie sort of takes you around the ranch and
Shows you
like,
what to
the
do.
reins.
Yeah.
Like, I think one of the first things you do is you just go rabbit hunting.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's like, just follow me on your horse.
you go on like a little patrol in the evening.
Yeah.
It's literally just like
That's my
rabbits.
most fun memory. Just riding a horse around.
Yep.
The
Shooting
not like
rabbits
it.
from a horse.
No, just riding a horse.
I just like always like getting people, tying them, putting them on train tracks.
This is a comment on how open this game is.
Yeah.
The fact that you can get a random person, lasso them, hog tie them, throw them on the back of your horse, ride to a train track, take them off the back of your horse, put them down on the train track, and watch them get decimated.
Just
I used
sit
to
and
do,
wait.
I used to do the same thing in GTA 4.
Yeah.
Where like if you jumped into people heaps, they start to fire you. And then the cops would come and arrest them, put them in the back where they can't get out of the car. Then
my
I'd steal the cop car and drive it over the cliff.
Because the first thing,
Are you okay, Alex?
So we know who the
Am I the only
trouble
one?
here.
Am I the only one that did that?
I do not remember doing that.
because you
Yeah, I
start
don't
off
remember doing that.
because you start off as John and you sort of go to Armadillo, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
your
so-
first thing you do is you go to Fort Mercer and meet up with one of your old gang members in
Yeah.
Bill Williamson.
Yeah.
I think it is. And immediately he's like, "Oh, I implore you, Bill, like please.
Yeah,
There's
he's-
a saner way
He's
in this."
trying to show that he's grown as a person from their good old days
Exactly.
of being a part of the gang.
And
Yeah.
Bill just pretty much laughs in his face.
Yeah, he's like-
and shoot
He's like, what are you doing trying to use smart words? And
because that's when Bonnie's introduced, isn't it?
Yeah,
he's
'cause she
wounded
takes
on
him-
the he's wounded
she
on the ground.
takes him back to the farm and heals him
Then you
up.
do
Nurse-
it
with her
nurses back to health.
magic healing abilities.
and then
Stomach wound.
And then to like repay your debt, you do all these like little odd jobs.
yeah.
Yeah.
Until eventually after that you're leaving there to go and help out at the like closest township.
Yeah, you go meet up with the marshal.
Yeah.
You go and meet up and be like, all right, it's time to take down
his
Bill Williamson.
Stupid deputies.
Yeah, and the marshal was like, oh, well, I got
Jonah.
bigger things to worry about.
Yeah.
Who is it? Who's deputies? Jonah and someone.
Jonah
else.
and there's the skinny Darrow guy and there's the chubby guy.
lumbering, chubby
And
guy.
he's really endearing.
Yeah.
He wants to do his job. But man,
And then you got the other ones.
I loved this game so much. For every single thing you did, it built up John as a character.
Yes.
So much.
I'm
And
pretty sure he won like character of the year. or something.
it wouldn't surprise me
Well,
because
it was Game of the Year, so.
Yeah.
He won game of the year, and then there was another award with.
Oh, so.
I can't remember who did it, but they award character of the year, and he won it.
Because that was the interesting part with Marston is like, yes, he was, a known gunman and a horrible killer and all that sort
Yeah.
of thing, but he still had like a smidge of honor to him.
he's
Yeah.
trying to be this good guy.
Exactly. He's trying to get away from it because he's just trying to get back to his wife and his son.
So
Yeah.
you find out that these government guys
They taken.
have basically taken
Basically, they have.
yeah.
They've
They
taken
straight
your
up
business.
kidnapped them.
You don't know where they are, and you're just every now and again you have to do job for them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and
English.
you
They basically have hired you.
yeah
Yeah.
Hey,
Right,
being
you're
your
hired
kidnapped
gun,
family.
yeah.
blackmailing.
I know it takes a while to actually reveal John's motivations as to
Yeah,
why he's there.
it does.
It doesn't just straight away say, "Oh, I'm here for my wife
That's
and my
kind
son."
of
That's how you make a
It's
game.
kind of great though. It's like
Yeah, you're watching him slowly deal with the fact that he's trying to deal with this gang, and then it's slowly revealed that he's trying to deal with the gang partly for himself, partly for them.
Yep.
And then you're working with them, and like, okay, another quick tangent. The map at the time, this thing was huge.
I still think
I'm
it's
sure
huge.
now, I think it's huge as well, but I'm sure now if you actually go back and play it after playing like a recent open world game.
Assassin's Creed.
I think Rockstar had to like change their entire game engine that they had originally built Grand Theft Auto
Yeah,
4 on
yes,
because they
it
were
is
so
a new
used to
engine.
having
Like that.
sort of a city where they could close things off
Yeah.
and
Things can
Yeah.
load in the background.
Exactly right. So it's like, you come out from behind this object,
Yeah.
and then it's all loaded. Whereas
Whereas-
this, you stand on a cliff face and just have this huge landscape, and
Yeah.
you could just literally set a waypoint and go, "I'm going to go there."
I'm going there now.
And you just ride.
And you could just ride
Yeah.
and listen to the
And-
sweet music that's being played in the background.
Opening it up to Mexico and then and then leaving there and coming back up through America to like the northeast, where it would get like all like snowy and swampy and stuff.
Yeah.
Man,
More dangerous animals were introduced in terms of bears.
Yes.
Yeah.
the first time
Just
you
the
see a
cougars,
bear
man.
on the track during a mission, I'm fairly certain, is like the first time you like encounter a bear in the story, and like everyone's like jeez, and like gets out of the way like crazy.
I just remember playing like even online because I played a lot of Red Dead.
Yes.
And like you'd either be on your horse or you'd be doing something with your mate. You'd hear a cougar and you'd just be like,
Yeah.
You hear that like, "Rawr."
and you'd just be like, shit.
Oh, one of us is gone.
Well, that was the other thing that like Red Dead had such a great balance with. They introduced it in, I think it was GTA 4, the just like random events on the road or on the streets.
Yeah.
And Red Dead had some like so cool ones. I mean, you just come across like 3 coyotes like mauling someone.
Yeah, and
and you
it's
can
just
choose to help or you can just keep riding. But not my problem.
Yeah, and also the where a woman would be like a broken down carriage, where it's like, help me, please. And then
A woman?
well, yeah,
A woman?
a damsel in distress.
Ah,
Yep.
madame.
Madame. And so you'd stop to help her, and then suddenly these guys would jump out from behind the carriage and ambush you.
And hold you up. And if you didn't have like the level of Deadeye sort of unlocked at the time,
like they were
you
gonna
pretty
get
much
it.
just had to concede and be like, all right, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
here, take all my money,
Here's
take
money.
my pelts or whatever that you'd gathered, and
Not
then
my
be like, bad
pelts.
luck. Yeah, not my
Not
precious
pelts.
pelts.
and looking forward to Red Dead 2 with this as well, with the whole like these random choices and story, like choosing to help someone or choosing to like leave them be, like that is gonna be such a large thing in 2, I think, because I think they're teasing it a bit with all these decisions that you get to make a little bit.
Like they're leaning into like these random events that kind of shape you as and like the decisions you make have consequences.
Yeah, exactly. Because I remember with Red Dead, like the first one, there wasn't too much in regards to certain decisions were made in some ways. It didn't really affect all that much.
Just like random events. If you chose to not help, it wouldn't have a consequences.
No,
Just like,
yeah.
okay.
It was basically broke down to their like honor or bounty system.
Yeah.
It's like if you did a crime and people saw you, you would get a bounty,
Yeah.
and people would then try to hunt you down if they saw you.
Yeah.
And couldn't you get like a pass?
Yes.
So you could just be like, oh yeah, I'm sorry, I did bad, and just hand in like
It's like, okay, here you go.
slip and be like,
little.
oh,
They're like,
clap
oh,
your hands.
we're fine.
That's fine.
You're all
You just
good.
killed 10 people, but it's alright. Don't worry about it.
It's okay. You had a piece of it.
I just remember like going into the main cities and like starting shit. and then just be like, okay,
Okay, I have to run.
get on your horse and go.
Speaking of going to the cities and starting and killing people as well, duels.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Duels. I for one, once you figure it out, I loved duels.
Yeah.
Todd, I know you had some trouble with duels for a bit.
Initially, probably because I was just so impatient, I didn't probably read the instructions as I should have done.
Or that first duel. when they tried to
Exactly
teach you.
right. So I was just like, oh yeah, I get it. Cool.
Yeah.
Just shoot him in the head. Fine.
Just shoot the gun.
I didn't quite get that, you have to time the draw and then the camera is actually closer to them because you could draw early and sort of cheat the duel. But yeah, I remember there's a side mission, I think it's a side mission where there's this actor that is playing a Western character or an outlaw and he's gone like full method. And
excellent.
you're assigned by his agent to go like track him down and sort of beat some sense into it.
Yeah, because he thinks he's amazing.
Exactly, and at the end of it, he challenges you to a duel. And the first time I did it, I lost that duel. And I was so embarrassed, and I'm pretty sure I turned the game off for
That's-
like a good hour or so.
That's fair enough.
As much as I could get away from it as possible before having withdrawals.
Oh,
You got over your embarrassment. It was like, alright, need to get back.
Exactly.
I need to go kill this guy.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
So no, it's like, oh, no one was watching me at the time, although now that I say it, everybody knows.
Yeah,
So,
it's a fun story now that you look back
yeah,
on it.
they're like, at the time, I was so angry, but thinking about it now, it was freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
Because I know we talked about before, saying about like the honor and the fame and stuff, and you could choose with some duels to not actually kill the person.
Yes.
You could just shoot the gun out of their hand and
Yeah,
then became more
or, like,
famous, more honorable.
Give them a bit of an injury in the knee or something.
and I think
No, see, I always just.
Of course you
Just
did that.
straight
That
forward.
doesn't
They
surprise me at all.
If they accept it or if they challenge me, then you will get into.
I think this is coming from the one who drove people in paddy wagons off cliffs. We should not be surprised at all.
Tied people to train tracks.
But even
Yes, don't
there was
forget
this
that
great twisted element to the duels as well. It's like someone would come up to you in the street and challenge you, and you could straight away just shoot them in the face.
Yeah, it's like,
It's like-
I'm challenging you to a duel, and you're like,
I don't have time. Bang.
I'm
and just
not
keep
giving
moving.
you a chance.
Then you get the bounty though, so with the jewel, it's a good way to kill them
Yeah.
and not get a
It
bounty.
works out well in a respectful way, which was
I think you could even, if they challenge you to a duel, you could even just fight them, like just
Yeah, just
fisticuffs.
brawl, yeah.
Exactly. You could just brawl them and
get into a proper fight with
defeat them that way, and then you still got the honor bonus.
Yeah, because you haven't killed them per se.
Yeah.
See, it's just you're diverting around it.
Just might as well just go the whole way.
So I'm assuming with like bounties that you could actually accept and go and get them dead or alive.
Yeah.
Dead.
I'm assuming. Yeah, exactly. I would always try to get them alive.
Do you get more money from them?
You do get more money alive.
But then they could just run.
Yeah, so you have to like
So you
chase
tie 'em
them
up.
down
Yeah,
and lasso
have to
them.
hog tie them.
So you know,
carry them,
you
put
know,
them on
you
the back
just
of the
shoot
horse.
them.
And if you
So
don't,
say you remember that thing you like doing, lassoing them, tying them to the back of your
Yeah.
horse? Without the train part, you could just do that. I mean, the train part does
We
sound
were
pretty
three-quarters of the way
It's
there
not-
already.
Yeah.
It's not fun though. It's just like,
yeah.
Why not? Why not? Tie them
one
to
and
it?
done.
You
Why
could
not,
do
why
the
not kill
thing
them
where
with the train?
you were on a horse and you lassoed
the train,
someone.
then take them
Take
in
the-
and
here's the
then
pieces.
Just dragged them behind you.
Yes, exactly. That's
that was fun. I did that. Yeah.
the physics engine that was introduced.
The ragdoll of just like then just go.
You know, you look back as you're towing this person,
Yeah, and they're just like,
watching them slam against rocks
Yeah.
and,
And
just
if you
bounce
get-
around.
Get a little bit of air.
If
you
you
would be
they hit a
like-
rock just wrong, they would actually die.
Yeah.
And it was like,
I
oh,
just remember like doing that. It's like, oh, I could go on this like smooth road or
Oh,
rough terrain. Hello, rocks and
Who wants
boulders.
to ride through that cabbage patch?
yes, exactly. Oh my god.
Ah, the cactuses.
Oh,
they
cabbage
look good over
patch.
there.
Cabbage patch.
Cabbage.
That'd hurt too.
That would still hurt.
That-
and be delicious.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No.
And
A nice
nutritious.
snack bar dining.
Nutritious.
A nutritious death.
So some
Get
of
right
the,
in nutrition.
We care about your health.
some of the
We're still gonna kill you.
Yeah.
some of the side characters that we meet as well, we were reminiscing on just before
Ah, yes.
because they were excellent characters. They were so weird and unique to this world that like we would. Even if we couldn't remember the name exactly, we knew everything about them.
Do you guys have a personal favorite? I did.
I can't remember.
Irish.
Irish.
I like Seth.
Seth,
The crazed treasure
hunter.
drug addicted grave
Excellent.
digger. Like,
Oh,
oh,
man.
man. All his missions were just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, we're having to like go to this place to try and find this thing, and oh, nothing's here because he's insane.
Yeah.
And then he had this wonderful ending for himself.
Yeah, it's like revealed at, I think, the end of the game
Yeah.
that he actually found the treasure.
It's
like he
amazing.
gave up all these things. Like he says to you how, oh, I once had a wife and a family
Yeah.
and all that sort of stuff. But it's all irrelevant because I just want this amazing treasure.
Yeah.
And
And
he
then-
actually gets it.
And you're just like, oh, good on you, man.
Then Irish shot himself in the head on the toilet.
Yeah.
yeah.
Classic Irish, though.
Accidentally.
Classic
himself.
Irish, though. It's amazing.
And then there's Wes Dickens.
Yes, Nigel West Dickens, the snake oil merchant.
Oil merchant.
Oh my
Just-
god.
I think
Is he the con artist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's the guy who's like, oh, this magical elixir will heal your bones,
And you would go along to counties and sort of scam them with him. Like
Yeah.
You'd go along and have to enter into town.
he'd pay
like,
you to like you weren't with him.
Yeah, like he'd drop you off early
Yeah.
and then go into town, you'd meet him in there. And it's like, you, sir, in the crowd there, come forth. And
You look like a strong lad.
Yes.
He's like, take this, and that was when you got Deadeye. I'm fairly certain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When
it
it was
was.
just suddenly just like, shoot this hat out of the air, and it's like, oh my god, this mechanic is
yeah,
amazing.
there's like this whole sequence where this guy sort of challenges you. He's like, I don't believe this tonic is worth anything you're saying. So he's like, I bet you can't even shoot my hat out of,
Yeah.
out of the air. And he does that, and then I think you fist fight him afterwards.
Yeah,
and
something
then
like
there's
that.
like another shoot up part, and then it sort of that guy sort of concedes. He's like, I guess it wouldn't hurt. I'll buy
Okay,
some.
yeah, and like he succeeds in his con.
Yeah.
But like doing that as a tutorial for the Deadeye mechanic that they made, and I think they have like patented basically as like only they can have it. That use throughout the rest of the game and a very pivotal point at the very end were incredible.
It was such a smooth transition in terms of gameplay.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you talk about tutorials, and even when you play certain games to this day, you're like, oh, okay, this is the tutorial part.
Yeah.
But, you know, we mentioned about, like, the McFarlane farm and going around and just
Yeah.
doing little
Farm,
basic
farm.
mechanics thing.
You're,
and,
you're
you know,
doing
riding the
things that
horse.
help you learn how to use a rifle
Yeah.
and learning how to properly use your horse and everything.
And eventually it just becomes sort of second nature to you. You just, like, even when you pull into town, dismount your horse,
Yeah.
you make sure you tie it up, because
Yeah.
otherwise it's just going to go for a random run.
Yeah.
And
I
you have
love
to
that.
whistle it back and wait forever for it. And just be like, oh, for
good.
God's sakes.
It's so good. And I do, even though it's super duper emotional. I want to skip us ahead in storyline of the game.
Look,
I want to. Well, we're getting there.
Oh no.
One of my personal favorite memories from this game was when I was first playing through it, and obviously the soundtrack is phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's so good. There is a song that plays when you're up in the snow and they're like, okay, your wife and your kid are here. Yeah. And like you can go back to this like home, like this farm, homestead, where your wife and your son are. And you're just like, oh my God. And this music cuts in, and I'm gonna play a clip of it now because like I get chills thinking about it.
Awesome.
You just start riding the horse and this song cuts in, and it's
Just an emotional
And by that stage,
gorgeous.
You think that's the end of the game. You're like, yes, I've done it.
I get to
I've
go
come
home.
full circle. I can go home now. I can have a quiet life. And then we'll touch upon what happens later.
So I'll quickly cut it in now because I want other people to experience this who haven't experienced this yet or didn't notice the song in the background or something like that, went off and did something else. So I'm quickly out of here.
And now I know the only compass that I need is the one that leads back to you. And I know the only compass that I need is the one leads back to you. And the burning blisters on my feet will call to hold me as I'm close to fall. Away from the home of your arms I stray, off the radar and into harm's way. Now I know the only compass that I need is the one that leads back to you.
Great song, Brayden.
Oh no, I'm like,
Beautiful, beautiful.
But do you know one of the
yeah, thank you.
one of the pre-orders with this game was you get the soundtrack, and normally in any other game you're just like, oh yeah. Okay.
Okay, cool.
With this, it's just like, no, yeah, this is one you can keep and you listen to.
Yeah.
You find the track that you
Excellent.
rode into Mexico.
Yes,
Find
riding
the
into
track of
Mexico as
going
well.
home.
Oh
Even
my
just
God.
other little
Going
things in
home.
terms of just like chase sequence music.
Yes.
And it's just like, it has
you hear that like theme music of like what they use for like all the trailers and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's basically got like a whip crack and then it gets into it. And it's like, oh, it's so good.
yeah.
You just make me want to play it.
So and then we get to this end where you get home.
And it ends because you've won.
Yes,
Nothing
Alex,
else happens. Nothing else
definitely.
happens. Nothing.
Mum always turned it off after that.
Never mind the like Russian gang members and all that sort of stuff from Grand Theft Auto. It was that part. It's like, no, you're too happy.
No, yeah, exactly.
You have to stop playing.
We
now.
can't let him be this depressed after this.
Just imagine that mum be like, we can't let him be sad.
Oh, your Xbox, bro.
He's coming with a hammer.
It perfectly like lulls you into a false sense of security because you're going around your own farm and your own home.
Yeah,
with
and
your son Jack and doing the same remedial tasks that you did at the start of the game.
Yeah. And you're teaching him, and because you've spent so many hours with John, you're so connected to him, which sets you up for this moment.
Oh, that's a heartbreak.
Man.
It is so obviously
In Edgar Ross.
the end of this game. Well, the end of John's story, where just that scene of hearing everyone outside the barn, and you open those double doors, and you see how many people are there, and
Prior to that, you're fending off waves of them.
Well,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
fighting off heaps of people.
And you think like, cool, I've done it.
Yeah, you're here.
Protected the farm, protected the family.
And you know what like makes it even worse? It's just like they give you go into dead eye.
They give you the dead
you're
eye
just like-
glimmer, and it's a decent amount of dead
It's
eye.
a glimmer of hope, and you think
You take
that
out
by
that-
that stage,
You can do it, and then you take out like 7 of them, and then it cuts away.
Oh man, and then it's that heartbreaking shot where it flips the camera from behind where you were to in front,
Yeah,
and you're
you
just
see
watching him be.
And you see the damage that has been done.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just like, stomach, chest, arms.
Like, it
just
completely
covered.
breaks you
And you
because
like-
you've gotten that hope.
Yeah.
You've done it.
And he has that moment where he's like, he's not quite dead yet, but he's just there.
He's still standing.
Yeah.
Like, he's been
It's like-
shot like
he's just
by
like-
12, over a dozen guards
Yeah,
or
I
something.
wanna say over a
And he's
dozen.
still standing and like spitting out blood and sort of like cautiously
He's so
fighting against
tough.
it still.
Yeah, and he's just wanting to be with his family. And it's like, oh no, I cried so hard.
Yeah.
I'm
cried so hard.
I'm
It's not
pretty
like the
sure
new series, it was like the
that I just had to sort
one
of
that
pause
sort
it
of started
afterwards
off
and
on
sort of recuperate.
Yeah.
And just take in everything that had just happened.
Really breathe for a
Yeah.
sec.
Alright.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Alrighty.
So, coming back from
Welcome back.
after that scene, where is I can't remember. Is there an immediate time jump? I feel I feel like there's
Does it
there is-
pull away like from his corpse?
Yeah, it does, because he sits there and dies. And
Yeah.
then,
Doesn't it cut to his tomb
Cuts
and
to
his
his tomb,
yes, his
yeah.
grave?
So it cuts to his grave, and then it cuts to someone who looks so much like him looking at the grave.
Yeah.
And it turns out to be Jack, but then it pans over and shows that his mum's died as well.
And then so this life that John didn't want for his son.
Has turned out to be what it is.
Now
And he's
Jack
just immediately fallen into it.
he's fallen into that because of this horrible circumstance he found himself in, and then you think the game's over, and
Nah.
they're just gonna let you be Jack and roam around and do all the random collectible stuff that you want to do, and like hunt like animals to get different costumes, like
I did
outfits and
love
stuff.
that though, like, because obviously that's another mission.
Yes.
But like, I did love the idea that like the main character died, but then you got to play as a sub for the rest of the game.
Yeah. So it's like you can now just explore the world as much as you
the
want.
story's been handed over to another league.
Yeah,
But
so
even
you don't have that, and then thanks for playing Red Dead Redemption. Now keep running around as John Marston in the wilderness.
Yeah.
It's like what?
So even after, like, he kind of just jumps all the way back.
You just
It's
had this super emotional moment, and then it's like we've put you just before this mission, so that way you can explore everything.
I don't know.
It loses its emotion.
I don't know if you guys remember doing this, but when I played as John Marston, I was always in like a duster coat. I loved the long duster coat.
My dad saw me playing it, and I was showing him a bunch of it because he loved. We loved this film called Tombstone.
Is that Val Kilmer?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
It's where the line "I'm your Huckleberry."
Yeah,
it's where that
exactly.
comes from. And we love it. It's an incredible western. I highly suggest checking it out.
Back to the Future 3 is the best one.
Alex, you're not wrong. But so I was showing him a bunch of stuff, and he was like, "Oh, can you get like different like coats and stuff?" And I totally saw where he was going, and it's exactly right. I only played in a long
duster coat.
tombstone duster coat.
man. Because even when I transitioned to Jack, I was
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna wear the same coat. So it's like handed
Did you guys
down.
not-
It's like
Did
my
you
own little
guys-
story.
Yeah.
Did you guys not wear like the kind of like the beige coat with like the tassels? Yeah, I wore that.
the Back to the Future 3 coat.
Yeah. Did you guys not wear that? I
Oh my
wore that.
god.
No, he wore the duster coat.
Yeah.
Wasn't there like a suit that you could wear?
Yeah,
That you could
with a
use to cheat.
Bowler hat as well, I
Something
think.
like that. And you could use its like ability to cheat in poker.
Yeah.
So you could have like cards up your sleeve.
There was like an
and-
extra
the
button that would
Bowler.
come up where you could just cheat at poker.
Yeah.
And
if
then
you got
So
caught,
why didn't you use that then?
Because he's
just
an
got too good at
honourable
it.
I was
man.
trying to be honourable.
He was
He just
too
got too good at it.
passionate.
He's
So when
got too
people
good at it.
challenged me
I
to
would've
duels, I
used it,
shot them in the face immediately. That's how honourable I was.
Yes. And then this final mission.
Or-
with like an epilogue,
Where
I guess you
like
could call it.
you just looking for Edgar.
Yeah, it's
and,
just Jack hunting down.
So like you go to the town and then you ask one of his old colleagues, and they send you up to his house. Then you meet his wife there.
Yeah.
And then you ask, and she's like, "Oh,
and he's just like stone cold.
he's
the whole
retired
time.
up." Yeah. And he's just like, and his wife's just like, "Oh, he's hunting with his brother at the moment." You just go out
You
there.
go down by the river.
and then you meet
I
the
remember
brother,
being
and
down
then the
by
brother's
river.
like, "Oh, he's hunting ducks by the river."
Man,
It's also casual. It's just
It's,
like,
it's like and when the guy, I'm pretty sure when the guy realizes who you are, he like accepts it basically.
you do
No,
you
he's a
duel
bit of
him.
a dick.
Oh, you do
You
duel him?
duel
he's a
him.
dick.
Yeah.
You have to duel him.
Okay.
I think
okay,
I think like Alex said, I think he rubs it in your face a little bit.
He
It's
does.
just like, oh, you're just like your father, you're nothing, you're
Yeah.
worthless, and all that sort of
He's
stuff,
just
just to
like,
antagonize Jack even more.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's just like, "Oh, you know, you're gonna be just like your father ended up when I'm done with you."
Jesus.
should we talk about like favorite missions, or, like
Yes.
in the main storyline, or
yeah.
even
The cattle mission.
Yes,
Straight up.
Special shout out to the cattle herding missions. Where
the storm ones.
You're
Save
helping
people
them
storm,
get
yeah.
to the river so they can
Me and
drink.
Bonnie.
And then when you do have to save them from the storm, I failed at that so many times because
Yeah.
one freaking cow would just run off.
Yeah, they're all like running towards the cliff face.
Yeah.
and you have to like
You
try
get
and get
all
in
of
front and
them,
cut them off. And
Except for one, and then that one would just go over the edge.
Yeah.
It's like you failed. It's like, oh great.
but it's good because sort of right after that, I think is where it starts to pick up, and
Yeah.
like Bonnie's farm gets set on
The
fire.
fire, yeah. I love that.
She gets kidnapped as well, and you have to do
From another gang, I think. Is it another
Yeah, I
gang?
think it's a rival
Yeah.
gang. I don't think it's like Bill Williamson. It's just something.
There
else.
I did love the different gang hideouts. I'm only just remembering them. The different gang hideouts. There was this one that was like up on a house, like on a hill, and you slowly made your way up to the house, and then you had to make your way through the house.
Yes.
So cool.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, I love stuff like that.
I think the missions I enjoyed the most were like the ones where you went into the fortress to take them all out.
And you're like working your way through, and
Yeah.
they're like slowly more guys are coming out.
I just remember the one where like it's like I think it's Bill Williams' fortress.
Yes.
And like you get through and you think you've done it, but you find out he's just gone.
Yeah,
He's failed.
and it's like, oh, that. It's like, of course he did.
Yeah.
He's a horrible person. Of course he did
So
that.
I think there's one with Irish, like you sort of enlist him to try and get, I think, was it the Gatling gun? It's like, yeah. And,
Yes.
And you're going
Oh
through
my
like all the
God.
mine shafts and stuff, and like working your way through it, and then eventually you get to this cart that's on a track, and you like
So
take cover
cool.
behind the cart, and it's going along, and you're still doing like dead eyes and
So
shooting people
awesome.
as you're just flying down on this cart on the tracks.
Man, this game was
man.
amazing.
Yeah.
It was a goodie.
It was a goodie, and we're getting another one real soon.
Do you want to talk about the next one?
A little bit, because like,
Can we touch
a little bit.
on one other side mission thing?
Yes,
Where it's
yes.
like, the mysterious stranger.
This, yes.
Like,
you did want to
oh.
mention this, so I'm glad you brought it up.
This was one of my most favorite aspects and sort of story elements and even like mythologies into
Conspiracy
the game.
theories?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you first come across this guy who's just dressed like all in black. He's got a sweet
Full
top
black
hat,
suit and everything.
big bow, and he's standing on a cliff face and he's just facing the opposite direction to you. And you
Just looking out.
rock up, and he's immediately like, "Hello, John Marston."
Yeah.
And he hasn't even turned around to look at you. And
He just
you're like,
knows
what
who
the
you
hell? And you do like a series of side missions through him that are
Where-
always like morality choices.
Yeah, and he just shows up.
And he's always really sort of vague in his answers when you talk to him. You're like, who are you? How do you know me? And it's just like, oh, you've long forgotten a lot of important people. I don't expect you to remember me. And then one of the final times you come across him, he's on this hillside. And he's like, this is a nice spot.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the hell is this guy talking about?
Yeah, this guy's just crazy.
Yeah, and John gets really annoyed with him, and he's just like, who are you? Tell me. And he's like, damn you. And the mysterious stranger says, many have.
Yeah.
And he just casually walks away with his hands behind his back. And Marston even shoots at him, if
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah,
And the
I
bullets
think-
just do nothing.
I think, yeah.
And
It's just...
that hillside that he was on saying about, like, this is a nice spot, that ends up being John Marston's gravesite. And that side mission is before even that death scene.
Rockstar, ladies and gentlemen.
Like, just foreshadowing and just little touches. And I know many people have touched upon it in regards to like who this character is.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, he's a representation of God or Satan or
Yeah.
death, and it's never answered, and it's just left open to interpretation.
And I
And
love
it's
that.
just so cool.
Which is probably
Yeah.
best.
I love
Exactly.
I love when they
Oh.
leave things like that open-ended.
And on Red Dead 2, I would love if that bobs up.
Yeah.
That if that's introduced Mysterious Stranger
That would
again,
be so cool.
I'll be so happy.
Yeah.
Just call it done there.
I'm just so keen. For it.
You're keen? You've been
you
keeping
play?
quiet on this game a little bit, haven't you?
I
Like,
tried it. I only found out it was actually a prequel until I like looked it up the other day.
Yeah, and you were like,
I didn't
oh
know,
wait,
'cause
what?
I've like stayed away from everything. Like I haven't watched any of the story trailers, the gameplay trailers. I watched the launch trailer that came out like yesterday.
Yeah.
Only because it was like a minute long.
So you were like, okay, it's not going to show too much.
Yeah.
Because isn't it set like right at the start of the 1900s or the end of the 1800s?
It's end of the 1800s.
Yeah.
So this is probably about like a decade and a bit, like 10 years or
'cause
so.
I think Red Dead was like
before-
1911.
Oh,
Yeah,
something?
it was.
Yeah. Because in Red Dead, like the first one,
Revolver.
your son, not Revolver, your son is like, oh, he's like mid-teens maybe, Like I would guess. And then in this one, he's like, he's a little kid.
Yep.
And he's just like, did you go out and get the bad guys? And it's like, yeah, we're not the bad guys
Yeah,
at all.
because John always refers to in Red Dead like how he has this code, and he's always trying to justify his actions. And even Bonnie McFarlane sort of calls him out of it. It's like, oh, great, you have a code, so you only kill like 10 people instead of 20. Oh, that's great.
And it's like, he needs to come to terms with the fact that he's not a great guy, and he knows deep down that he was doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Now, I need to ask.
Yes.
Just because you guys might not know this, but can you play this on like the original and next gen consoles at the moment?
So you can on Xbox,
Well, that's
because
bullshit.
they've got their backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
There is not a remaster or anything.
Why?
I don't know.
Isn't
They're
there
too busy making this new game.
No, they need to.
isn't there a rumor that they might release like or re-release a full Red Dead Redemption 1 game with Red Dead 2?
That would be very, very, very cool. I do not know if that's like
I've
a
only
thing.
just sort of
That would
South
be
Park did
amazing.
it.
South Park
Yeah.
did do it.
You got the Stick of Truth, man. You got the Fractured by Hope.
yeah,
you just get a little
It'd be
download code.
be a smart decision.
I would replay.
Should have been a
all of
pre-order
it.
bonus.
Yeah.
That would have been a great pre-order
Man,
bonus.
that would have got so many. pre-orders.
Eventually, it would have been. They would have done it anyway. Like, oh, here, $30, you can buy Red Dead.
Yeah.
Because John, so he's going to be in Red Dead 2.
John is in it
But he's-
as one of the gang members.
So he's an NPC.
You're in with the gang, and like you travel. Your gang travels from spot to spot, and like sets up camp. And there's all these other people who like you meet, and like you can sit by the campfire and hear stories from them and stuff.
Ah, yes.
And so I think that I'm gonna get sucked into hearing so many random stories.
Because isn't there, like, much like Alex, I didn't want to look too much into it.
Yeah.
That was the beauty of Red Dead, is like you sort of just experienced it.
You were just like,
and you just,
and especially at the ages we were just like, hell yeah, cowboys!
Oh, yeah.
And we're just gonna run around Old West shooting stuff.
I was 19.
Exactly.
Damn right.
Yeah.
I was 12.
So you're just like,
Mom, can you come with me to get this game?
yeah. So yeah, we're at these ages where it's like, hell yeah, and then all of a sudden that story hits so much more than you're expecting. And I imagine this one, I guess it kind of has to meet expectations.
Oh, see, that's what I'm scared about. It's just like Red Dead 1's just like
Everyone's
amazing.
going to be comparing it so much.
Oh yeah. Hopefully it's better.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
It looks incredible.
I think I've said this to you before, like, you know, the GTA games I always thought are great.
Yeah.
And I would play them and do the main story and side missions and finish it and be like, wow, that was awesome. And then try and start it up again and just struggle to do it.
It's like, oh, I already done this, and
Whereas Red Dead,
You
I
just
can
play
remember.
over and over
Yeah, I
again.
can remember
It's
finishing
such a
it.
cooler world.
starting
It's a world
straight
so
the
away.
absurd characters you meet and the random events and everything. Even if you've already done one where the woman's screaming help and guys come out, you're like, that woman and this, they're all going to team up on me, so now I know what's happening.
There was cannibals, wasn't there?
There was
a
a
cannibal
side
side mission.
mission where you're investigating about this random cannibal up in the hills.
Yeah.
And it's excellent.
That's right, because all these family members are just like,
Yeah.
oh, no, my sister's gone missing, my wife's gone missing, and you just keep coming across like human remains.
This game is so
And John's
good.
like, you know, because John doesn't really care. He's like, oh, it's probably just coyotes,
Yeah,
jaguars,
it's like,
whatever.
yeah, it'll be a mountain lion. I don't care.
Why can't it be remastered? I want to play it this week.
Yeah. Well, if you have an Xbox One,
I don't know. I have the consoles.
And with that,
yeah.
and with that, I think we'll call it there. I'd like to thank you guys so much for coming and talking about some Cowboys with me.
Thank
That's all right.
you for having us, Brayden.
Yeah, thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Check out in the description and everything below for links to Vulgar Professionals. Todd has a channel as well if you
got a
like.
channel,
I do.
If you like
so,
a bunch of gameplay stuff.
It is youtube.com/retiredrocket.
Yes.
I do a lot of Let's Plays, but with no commentary.
Yeah.
You guys don't need to hear my voice.
So it's like-
this is for the first time I've ever actually experienced this. So
if you enjoy and you're interested in a game and you want to see what it's like,
Without
and-
hearing some guy
yeah,
going,
exactly.
you don't
right,
need
you know.
someone yelling absurdities in your ear.
Gameplay only. I've done some
Yeah.
Madden, some
You have,
FIFA.
I have to say, just from seeing it myself, you are incredibly good and so much better than me at Battlefront. from back when Battlefront initially
I
released
did.
and everything.
I played that, horrible game that
You okay?
everyone hated.
Yeah.
I'm alright now.
There
I
was-
traded it in a while ago.
There's one highlight that I will deliberately make a link in the description for. There's that one highlight of, I think it's a thermal detonator, and every single person on a team comes through or something.
Yeah, that was great fun. It was just in a stairwell.
Yeah.
And
There was one or two guys.
there's this ability that I think was called Scam Pulse or something, and you could sort of see through walls. And use the scan pulse and you can just see this
All these
wave of people that
people.
have just respawned that are rushing the point. And it's like, oh, I got a thermal. Like, it's
Yeah.
nothing special, just sort of lob
This
it
will be
in.
fine, and then more people come in, and it's just the coolest thing.
I think that was the one thing they got right with that game was the thermal imploder sound. Just
the
bang.
coolest thing.
So-
And if hey, freaking work on a new Star Wars game and actually like make it good. That cancelled one. They should have just been kept
from,
doing that. The people who did Uncharted.
The lady that had helped
The lady,
write the Uncharted.
yes.
and
I
they
can't remember her
showed
name.
like a brief demo of it and
Yeah.
it looked amazing on like a Sith-occupied planet. And it was like, oh yeah, but we're going to try and make this like an Uncharted
Looks
level.
amazing.
Wasn't there like a Darth Maul game?
There was a
There's a bounty hunter.
Bounty Hunter 1, 1313.
Yeah, something like that.
That looked awesome as well. Stop
Anyway.
cancelling cool Star Wars games.
Yeah.
We want
and
to talk about Star Wars.
Rockstar, stop delaying games.
Red Dead Redemption 3, 2, 1.
Sorry, you need to sync the audio.
Yeah, you gotta sync it.